I thought Buffy was the villain, obviously, you know?
Picture this. It's 1999. High school is over. And we open season 4 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer with Buffy Summers doing something arguably more terrifying than fighting an ascended demon. She's going to college. Buffy the Vampire Slayer had really hit its stride in season 3. So coming into season 4, the writers knew the challenge that lay ahead. Like, how do we keep the audience interested in these characters outside of the high school setting? For me personally, season 4 didn't resonate with me until very recently. Because at the time, I was still just a kid in high school and I had no experience at all with the things the characters found themselves facing. But as I've gotten older, I've gotten to fall in love with this season in a completely new way, and I can relate to the characters in ways that I had never seen before. The season starts in a new location and it gives us a host of side players, none more memorable than Buffy's brand new roommate, Kathy Newman, played by the hilarious Dagney Kerr.
Hi. Oh, hi. Are you Buffy?
Yeah.
Kathy.
Hi. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah.
On the surface, she's perky, she's organised, she labels her milk and she loves spinning the divas.
I just know that this whole year is going to be super fun.
Do you believe in love after love?
But what Kathy really brings to season 4 is something pretty genius. She makes the apocalypse domestic. Because before the initiative, before Adam, before the existential dread of adulthood, the first big bad of college
Going out?
is a roommate who loves Celine Dion and touches your stuff. And here's the brilliance. The show lets us sit in that ambiguity.
Is that my sweater?
Is Buffy overreacting? Is she projecting? Is she a nightmare to live with? We've all had those moments where you think, am I overreacting? Or is this person actually evil?
It wasn't me. It had to be somebody, Buffy.
I don't know.
Well, spoiler alert.
I knew it!
Kathy's not evil,
in my opinion.
but she's certainly a demon. Kathy isn't just passive-aggressive.
Sounds like somebody woke up on the wrong side of the bed this morning.
And guess what? You were next to it.
She's also a demon on the run. She fled the other dimension because, honestly, she wanted to go to college.
Ka nu that far.
Ukuna convict Gori.
Ka tripped McKen. I pakor haya go nu bevnuk. Big no mek.
And that's what makes her kind of weirdly iconic. She's not here for world domination. She's not summoning hell gods or opening portals. She just wants to get a degree.
Does Buffy have a history of emotional problems? Because on my request form, I was pretty specific about a stable non-smoker.
It's the most millennial villain origin story imaginable.
I'm cold.
Well, I'm hot. Deal with it.
Do you know what your problem is, Buffy?
You?
Hardly. Your problem is you're spoiled. Maybe the world revolved around you where you used to live, but it's share time now.
And Dagney's performance is pitch perfect.
Do you always make that noise when you sleep?
Dagney Kerr makes Kathy simultaneously believable, unbearable, and bizarrely sympathetic.
I wouldn't put it past her to drop out or take off or something. Do something horrible to herself. Herself? Or worse. She's capable of it, you know. You can see it in those shifty little eyes of hers. One of these days, she might even push somebody too far. Hello?
Because underneath that demon reveal, Kathy represents something very real about season 4. The fear of sharing space. The slow realization that adulthood means you don't always get to choose who you're stuck with. And today, we get to talk to her.
Iconic.
I am so excited to welcome the woman who brought the dorm room horror to life, the wonderful, the hilarious Dagney Kerr.
Yay! Well, it's so nice to meet you.
It's been very exciting. Well, as I've told like a few people, you know, what I'm doing, like fans of the podcast and stuff, all I hear is, oh my God, I love her. I love her.
Oh, They're lying, just like your square, lying adulteress.
They're all lying adulterous scouts.
Yes, exactly.
So that makes you a lying adulterous skank.
I've kind of loved just doing a little bit more like research into you because it's just led me down this path. Like your YouTube channel is like legitimately now one of my favorite things on the internet.
Oh my gosh. Do you know what? I don't even honestly know what's on that YouTube channel. I never go on there. Is it the dance things?
Yeah, like lots of great kind of dance comedy skits and stuff that are just so hilarious.
Oh my gosh, I'll have to go on there and see what all is on there. Yes. Oh my gosh, I love that.
I'm a relatively new interviewer, so this is more just kind of like a conversation with a couple of questions.
I love it. No, I love it. You're doing amazing. And I'm just happy to talk to you. And I always love meeting people that are interested in whatever I do, but I love meeting international Buffy fans. It's so amazing to me how wide the fandom goes. And I just love it. I think it's amazing. So
For everyone who's listening, we are so lucky to be joined today by the mega talented quadruple threat. She's an actress, a dancer, a singer, and an award-winning playwright. Oh, and in case you forgot, she's Buffy's college roommate. Welcome to the show, Dagney Kerr.
thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure to meet you and to meet any fans of what I do and a Buffy, of course, are the best fans ever.
So one of the first things I'll get out of the way is because I'm from Northern Ireland, my accent in saying your last name is like, so I would say Kerr.
That's right.
Okay, great.
Yeah, Kerr. Yeah.
So we'll just get straight into it. How does it feel to be part of a show like Buffy and Desperate Housewives and to have played these characters that are still talked about today?
It is incredible because I think when you do things, there are some things that you think, oh, this will take off, or hopefully people will see it, and nobody sees it. And then there's things you do, especially like Buffy, where I had no idea it would be anything. Honestly, when I auditioned, I only thought I had that one scene where I put up the Celine Dion poster. I didn't even know that it was like a full character until I was reading the script. And 1000% everything that has come from that show, I never saw any of it coming, and that's the best part. To know that
Yeah.
like this many years later that what I did so long ago made an impression, especially since I was on there so for such a short time, is incredible. I mean, there are not many anythings that we do as actors that continue to live on if we were just part of something for such a short time. So it's incredible to me. And I have had so many opportunities to meet so many amazing fans. And every time I meet a new person and they say, oh, I still watch your episodes. And I'm like, you do? Wow, that's so cool. And same with Desperate Housewives. That is really fun. I had a random person, it was just like a couple of years ago here in Los Angeles, and I saw him kind of looking at me, and they were speaking French, him and his partner. And then he says, can I ask you something? Were you Nurse Heisel on Desperate Housewives? And I was like, yes. And he's like, oh, I learned English to you from watching you. And I was like, what? Really? That's just
That is brilliant.
bizarre. Yes, but it is incredible. I do not take that for granted. I am well aware of how special that is. And every time someone tells me I loved your character, I watch it, it really does touch me. Yeah.
I'm going to say 99% of that comes down to your incredible performance because Buffy has had obviously a lot of guest stars and few of them are as memorable as you. Some would say you even outshine Pedro Pascal in that episode.
Hang on for a second. Did I not know? I didn't know he was in my episodes? Which, the first episode or the second?
The first one.
Stop.
Yeah.
How did I not know that? Well, now I'm just going to name drop all the time and be like, oh, when Pedro and I did Buffy, I did not know that. Okay, I'm shook. No, I did not know that. Well, I'm going to have to go back and look at the episode. Who was he?
He played Eddie.
Can we get him on right now?
I mean, I've sent many a message hoping that one day he'll see it.
That's just, wait, who did he play?
He played Eddie when Buffy was like feeling disconnected and he got turned into a vampire and she had to stake him.
Wow. That's crazy. I don't think I was maybe on the same day as him ever shooting. I mean, I honestly didn't remember me interacting with many people except for Sarah. And then the freshman, I had one scene with Seth and, I think it was just a couple people. I don't remember, but yeah. That's so crazy. Oh gosh, I'm so
Yeah.
excited to name drop everyone and be like, "Oh, Pedro and I, he was great. We would go to craft service together and, we both." That's so wild.
It's like, oh, my best friend Pedro.
Yes. Oh, Pedro. That's so cool. Wow, who knew? Thanks for that.
He wouldn't have killed you to be nice, you know.
Looked like you were being nice enough for the both of us.
I wasn't moving in on your territory, if that's what you mean.
Right. Just like you didn't destroy my sweater.
Well, you kind of touched on something I wanted to ask you, which was when you were going into the audition process, like for Kathy, did you know she was going to be a demon?
I knew nothing. So the audition process, like back in the day, now it's everything. You just film yourself and send it in. But it was very much you go onto a lot, you go in person, you meet with a casting director, they run the camera, and then you usually do a first audition. And if they like you, they'll bring you back for a callback. And at that point, that's when like producers would be in the room, and you don't really know who anyone is, but you just go back and you do it for a second time, maybe a third time. And then there's a process to hiring people where they have to get it cleared. If it's a network, they have to kind of go up to the chain and say, so that was not this process. The scene that I had to read for the audition, and I was only given one scene, was the scene where I meet Buffy and the freshmen, and I put the poster up, and that's it. So it was a pretty short scene. That's all I knew of the character. That's all I knew she was doing in the episode. I didn't know there were more than one episodes. I knew nothing. So I went in. I remember very well going in. We were coming out of summer, and and I remember going into the room. There was the casting director and a camera, and there was a man sitting off to the side. Didn't know who he was. I guess that was Joss. But I just went in. I read it one time. I left. And then about maybe half hour later, my agent called me and said, "You got the role." And I was like, "Oh, well, that was fast." And then this was so long ago. This is when they used to deliver scripts to you at your door, like hard copies. So then when I got the script, I remember flipping through, and I thought I just had that one scene. And then when I kept flipping, I was like, "Oh, wow, I'm in another scene." And then I was like, "Oh, I'm in another one. Wow, this is kind of a bigger role." Well, and then wait, I have to fight. Wait, I'm a demon. So I knew nothing, which I think is sort of the theme through this whole journey. Everything is a surprise. I didn't know that, I knew nothing. Everything just kind of, I found out in the moment almost. Even with fighting, like nobody asked me anything ahead of time. Like, are you physically able to do anything? They just said you're going to stand there and then you're going to go pop, pop. Like everything was just very, I don't know. It was so special. It was very like impromptu and I don't know. The whole thing was just like nothing I've ever done as far as, now you would probably go in quite a few times. I mean, for something this big, you'd go in multiple times. And when I go to conventions, and things like that, and I do panels with the other actors and even the regulars, they all have a similar experience. They all say that they didn't have to go in multiple times, and I think that's because Joss is what everyone said. He was a person that really knew right away, that's the essence of what I want. That's the person for the role. I don't need to go through rounds and rounds of auditions. He just kind of knew right away what he was looking for. So yeah, so I knew nothing. I didn't know I was a demon. I knew nothing. And even after I did the episodes, I remember being in the grocery store, and they had like a TV guide, and I saw on the cover, "Does Buffy have a new roommate?" And I was like, "Is that about me?" And I remember like
That's so
looking, and I'm
cool.
like, "Holy cow, like why are they," like I had absolutely no idea that any of what I did was like a big deal or anything. I just did it, and here we are. How long ago was that?
26 years.
And here we are. I'm internationally still, it's nuts. It's absolutely the coolest thing ever.
That's the thing that I kind of feel as well. Like I never imagined that I would be able to grow up and be able to talk about something that I loved, or was maybe that people made fun of me for loving so much.
Aw. Let me at them. I will pull my face off and I will.
And throw it at them. I just very specifically remember watching, like, especially watching season 4 in my bedroom with my little sister, like on our little square CRT TV.
No
And when I told her
way.
as well, like, oh, I'm going to be interviewing Dagney, and she was like, oh my God,
Oh
I
my
can't believe it, because I think of
gosh.
us just being like kids.
So you watched it when it went out, when it came out, like,
Yeah, when it
you
was on TV.
literally wow. That is so cool.
I was really annoying as well because it wasn't on our network TV, it was on our cable TV. So I had to like ask my neighbors if they would tape it for me, and I would go right after the time had finished and ask them if the for the VHS and, and everything. I was a real geek.
I love that. So it wasn't a was it did you have a network of people that you, friends and stuff that were also into it, or were you just kind of the only one, like, within your circle?
I knew that some people had. I knew that people watched it, but I was like annoyingly probably obsessive about it. Like back in the
Yeah.
olden days, before fandom was like toxic, this was, like lovely, like teenage fandom. I just loved it.
Yeah.
And it was me and my sister would just watch it like together all the time. Like just
Oh my
like was
gosh.
like a we have Buffy's been something that has like brought us to like close. She was a guest on the podcast as well, like for a couple of episodes when we first started doing it, and it was just so. It's just obviously it's such a wonderful nostalgic thing. One of the reasons I think that we love the character of Kathy is that she gets under Buffy's skin in a way that the audience has never seen before, and
Yes.
it brings out a completely new side of the character, which 4 seasons in isn't something that is always easy to do. So I just
Yes.
kind of wanted to ask you what it was like to kind of play those scenes, like that are such hilarious, like comedic scenes. Like, did you intend to play them so funny, or how
Yeah.
did you approach how you played Kathy?
That's a great question. I will say that before I go into that, it's funny that you said that about a different side of her because when I wrapped, when you're working with a star of a show, you don't, sometimes you don't know if they'll maybe even introduce themselves or even see them before. Sometimes I've worked on shows where I have no contact with the person until we do a rehearsal, we speak our lines, and then even still, they don't like go, "Hi, I'm so and so." It's just, every experience you just kind of take the tone off of how whatever it is. If they say hi and want to talk to you, between scenes, great. If they leave, and so anyway, I remember, you sign out, you leave, and I remember one of like the PAs running, going, "Oh, Dagny, Sarah has been looking for you. She wanted to say goodbye," and I was like, "Oh, wow, okay, great." And so she says to me, and I remember she said, "Thank you so much." She said, "This was such a fun experience to be able to have like a different side of my character and be comedic." And so she actually said that, but a lot of that is starts from the writing. But anyway, it's fun that you said that because she did really enjoy bringing out a different side of her character through this episode she had mentioned, and so that's cool.
Maybe the world revolved around you where you used to live, but it's share time now.
Share time, huh? Fine. I'll show you share time.
For me, in anything that I do, you you if it's on the page already, you don't really have to do a lot of work. It's like the character was so well drawn, like, you knew you kind it's like a map, right? If someone gives you good directions, you know where to go. If the map is a little convoluted and then you're like, "Did they mean go right here? She said merge." You know what I mean? And so the script is
Yeah.
that for me as a writer as well. When I read something and it just pops off the page, it's like, really, all I need to do is do exactly what they have laid out in this script. I really understood Kathy. I actually I actually felt very bad for her, and I feel like the way I approached her is, well, first of all, she was completely unsocialized because she's a demon, but she really wanted to fit in so bad. She really wanted this experience, and then her father took it away from her. So, I mean, the fact that she came all the way and got a new identity just to go to college, she really wanted to get away from demon world and be part of something. And I think we've all had that experience where we are trying to fit in, but maybe we just don't know how. So yeah, I felt bad for her because she just didn't have the skills. And let's be honest, Buffy didn't make it that easy for her either. She didn't come out like, "Hey girl, welcome to college.
Yep.
Let me know if you want to
Yep.
go. I don't know if you have a circle of friends. I also your outfits look a little, if you need any help, if you want to borrow something." She didn't make me feel very welcome either. But it was funny too I do remember when we would cut in between scenes. Everyone would talk about their roommate experiences. Like the crew would be like, "Oh man, I lived with this guy once." It's like we've all lived with somebody where we're like, "Oh my Lord." Whether it's college or just we've all had roommate problems. One thing that is so funny, I'm on Cameo, someone and they were in London, they actually reached out for a cameo from me to try to settle a real roommate dispute.
That was brilliant.
And so I legit did a cameo where I was giving like actual real advice, but then also included some sort of like Buffy things about like labeling and everything. And then what was even brilliant is then they sent me the recording of the people watching the cameo. And then they let me know that
Brilliant.
they are okay now and they are back together as roommates. Isn't that hilarious? It's a common scenario. And then, like I said, just Marty Noxon, who wrote that episode, The Living Conditions, was brilliant. And just the specifics that she had in there about the characterization. Like, I'm not downplaying what I did with it, but I had a really good map to be able to jump
Yeah.
into. It wasn't like I had to really do a lot of heavy lifting to figure out, I don't really understand this person or what she's after. Yeah.
I mean, I figure we're almost like sisters now, living together and everything.
I think one of the things that I realized as I got older and wasn't living at home anymore is that there's something so relatable about Kathy, especially when it comes to like the decoration and playing the music, because that's something that I've always felt like I've had to hide my love of, my kind of queer divas that I love, Britney Spears or Christina Aguilera, and you kind of almost literally like Kathy put on a mask, when you go somewhere new.
Yeah. The mask thing, I think that's so intuitive, because we all have masks that we need to put on for different scenarios, maybe that we don't feel comfortable with. So it's actually I never looked at it so deep that Kathy, her mask was, my face, but that was just her
Yeah.
mask that she thought, I guess if I wear this or I'm like this, I'll be able to kind of fit in and get away from my life that I want to leave behind. I want to say one more thing. I remember someone telling me that they thought that Kathy they were very deep. They're like, "I think Kathy was actually a gay male. They was closeted." Like, it was just I go, "Because of the share?" Like, I was like, "Wow, it's deep." But they're like, "Is that how you thought you were playing her?" I was like, "No, but that's
Yeah.
brilliant."
Were you playing Kathy as a twink?
I thought that was really I was like, "Wow, I've never heard that take on the characterization." Fun fact, the original script had Mariah Carey as the song.
Oh.
I don't remember if it had a specific song. I don't think so, but it said, she incessantly plays Mariah Carey. So isn't that funny? But Cher was a much better choice.
Oh yeah, iconic how that kind of changed.
Iconic.
Wow, this music is so.
I know. This song is super fun, isn't it?
You bet. It just gets funner and funner every time you play it.
Going out?
Do you often get to go to work and be told, okay, right, you're going to be in the makeup chair today because you're going to get your face ripped off?
That's the only time I've ever had prosthetics, and hopefully they'll last. I cannot believe people that, like, do Star Trek or all those things where they have to do that process. Oh my gosh, I think of, like, Eddie Murphy. I was watching his, documentary recently on Netflix, and they were revisiting a lot of his stuff and The Nutty Professor and all that, and I was like they were talking about how many hours just for one character, and he played all of them, and I was just like, wow. It was really I had a real tough I don't remember having such a tough time with the skin. I had a really tough time with the contacts because they were, those ones that, like, encompass your entire eye, not just yeah, and I have, like, dry eyes to begin with, and I remember those really were hard. I guess that's what also is so special about what I did. It combined almost anything that anyone would wanna do, or maybe so it had comedy, kind of a little drama, prosthetics, fighting. It's like it's you don't normally get to do one performance that has all these elements that would, you know, you would only maybe do prosthetics if you're doing like a sci-fi or a comedy if you're doing a
Yeah.
comedy, fighting if you're doing an action. Like it really it was like let's just throw everything in the pot. Here's what you get to do in 2 episodes. I have never done anything since. Crazy enough though, I was in one of our like makeup stores here in Los Angeles. This was only 3 years ago, and I heard Dagney, and I was like, "Yeah?" And I know the guy kinda looked familiar. Now his name is escaping me, but he goes, "Hi, it's so and so. I did your makeup on Buffy, your prosthetics." And I was like, "Stop." And I was in there to get hairspray because I was going to Paris that next weekend for a Buffy convention. And I said, "This is so crazy that you're here." And he's like, "Yeah, I did your prosthetics." And I was like, "I knew you looked so familiar, but I couldn't like." Is that wild? I don't. The Buffyverse
That
is
is incredible.
very connected.
It's share time, Buffy.
One of the things I wanted to kind of just express is that people like yourself who have been part of the show that are actively part of conventions and engage with the fans and stuff, it's just so special, and it helps continue, I think, to help draw people in to the world to know that the people that were part of it value it as much as kind of what we the fans do as well.
I would love to do more. I love it. I would love to get invited to more, and I'm always shocked when people are so excited to meet me. I guess I'm like this little side dish that's like a specific dish that, isn't like the main course that people are excited, be like, "Oh my goodness, yes." That's where I found out I was a villain. I didn't know I was a villain.
I wouldn't class Kathy as a villain.
Well, I certainly wouldn't, but yeah, people are like, "Well, you're one of the most popular villains in the Buffyverse." I was like, I didn't know I was a villain. I thought Buffy was the villain, obviously, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. It's social anxiety is the real villain, of
I love that. Yes. Yes. She was social. She didn't have social. I mean, you saw her father. Like, do you think she's gonna get social skills at home? She probably was watching TV and going, I guess this is how they are. I'll pretend to be an American college person and wear this outfit. And yeah.
Say, I went to church in Ireland growing up, so to me, Kathy's very well adjusted compared to some of the people that I've met.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yes. I actually wish, I think it was cool that they put everything in one episode because I think it did
Yeah.
maybe make it more iconic. But had they spread her out and maybe extended that behavior maybe through a whole season or what have you,
hmm
I feel like Kathy could have been a good ally at some point. I feel like Kathy would have been like on the lookout and maybe even like an undercover person that was helping Buffy. We're like they hate each other. It's like Survivor. Do you guys have Survivor there?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's like we would have like a secret alliance, but pretend like we
yeah.
didn't like each other, but then be like, "Come down to the beach really quick. They're gonna vote you off tonight." You know what I mean? You know?
I have only recently got into Survivor, like over the last couple of years, because it hasn't been something that is like on network television here. But when I was I had surgery a few years ago and I was looking for things to watch while I was recovering, and I just started, I'll cut this part out, illegally downloading the torrents so that I could watch
All
Survivor
good. Your
from the
secret's
States.
safe with me.
Yeah. And now I'm just like, I'm totally caught up. I'm so excited for 50 to start. Like, yeah, I'm just,
I love it.
yeah.
'Cause, yeah, it's still just the American. There's not like a international version of Survivor, right? It's just
No, there's an Australian one, which is actually really
Oh!
good.
Oh, wow! Okay, didn't know that.
Yeah. But they just did like an Australian versus the world one where
Oh,
they had some of
wow.
the like world contestants. It was really, really very good.
It's such a great show.
It's really bad for helping to teach people how to manipulate.
But when you're hungry, you're gonna do what you gotta do. The seasons never disappoint. The casting, the Jeff Probst is, literally the best host on television. It
Yeah.
is it never disappoints 'cause it's so good.
Do you have a piece of memorable dialogue that people quote at you the most now? It doesn't have to be from Buffy.
I think Buffy I guess Buffy comes to mind more because I do see people, someone tagged me in something the other day and it was where I said, "Oh, someone woke up on the wrong side of the bed." And then she's like, "And you were next to it." So I was like, "Oh, that's funny that they're quoting that."
Sounds like somebody woke up on the wrong side of the bed this morning.
And guess what? You were next to it.
And then I do use super fun a lot. Like whenever I do my cameos or something, I'm like,
Yeah.
I hope this cameo was super fun. Like even that alone, I remember when I was reading the script. I mean, did you just have a sense of an energetic of who would say super fun and how they would say it?
I just know that this whole year is going to be super fun.
And I love that you have lying adulteress skank,
Skank. Yeah,
correct?
that's my
Is skank a word where you are?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not one that would
Okay.
be used as much, but it's very like an American word that we would know.
Like a lying adulteress skank.
So that makes you a lying adulterous skank. I can explain. Can you skank?
Have you always been funny? Were you a funny child? Like, or does
Aw.
comedy run in your bones?
Totally. 'Cause
I'm so funny.
I'm getting a sunburst here I got a little flare on my lens. Oh, there she is now. I'm like really in church there. I don't know, 'cause it's so funny that I always think like whether or not someone's funny is not really up to them, but it's up to other people if they think they're
Yeah.
funny. Do you know what I mean? So that's why I'm kind of like, oh, totally. I've always been funny. So I try to think I mean, people tell me I'm funny now. I
Hmm.
never think of myself being funny, if that makes sense. So it's like I don't gosh, my little flair is really intense, isn't it? Oh well. I've been in the business since I was a kid. I don't think I don't know if I was particularly funny as a child. I mean, I guess if I'm just looking at pictures, I look maybe like I'm kind of like silly. I think I was a little bit more, I think it took me a while to kind of grow into my personality. So I feel like maybe that, maybe like in my 20s or something, which, I'm in now, of course. Um,
Yeah.
it's a joke.
I thought you were
I'm not
17.
in my 20s. Oh my gosh, you're so sweet. I know I look it. I look so young. I guess I'm aware that people laugh. I feel fun, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I also am very aware of when I say I'm funny, I don't mean like I'm hilarious, but I realize how sometimes I forget my isms that everyone else doesn't do them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, 1,000,000%.
Yeah, like, and then I'm very aware of my things. Like, I'll be like, "Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna be like, this is so funny what I did." And I don't mean like I'm hilarious. I mean like funny, like odd, but I
Yeah.
know it's like insane. You know what I mean? Like I have just really specific, and I forget, "Oh, I guess other people don't do that." So, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great question, but, you know, yeah, I'm aware when people laugh, but I don't walk around going, "I'm hilarious."
I knew when I was growing up, like, I always knew I was a bit fruity, and I think my family knew I was a bit fruity, and I always knew I wanted to be involved in the arts, and I would consider myself to be, like, not necessarily, I don't think that I'm necessarily funny, but I enjoy that people laugh at the things that I say.
Yes.
So I feel that kind of kinship when I can see that in someone who's that I would say has that naturally. So I think that's why I gravitated towards reaching out to you, because I was like, oh yes, I would really like to kind of pick
Aw.
your
Yes, I feel
brain.
that with you. You like to have, I guess my natural thing is I do like to have an energetic of playfulness and fun with people. And so that's just probably my natural place that I like to live because I guess I don't know. I might see someone on the street, okay, girl, work those shoes. I don't know. That's just kind of my thing,
Yeah,
but I don't know. Go, oh my God, that was hilarious what you just said. Look at her, she's laughing. But
yeah,
yeah, I guess it's like asking someone if they're gorgeous, and you're like,
yeah.
well, people know if they are, but then it's like, well,
It's like,
I've been
so you
told.
agree?
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
think you're gorgeous?
I mean, I wouldn't deny, like, if somebody said Dagney's really funny, I wouldn't say she's not, but I wouldn't be like, just so everybody knows I'm really funny, you know? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's something I
It's
don't
hard. It's
really
like
think
that
about.
fine line, between, I guess, like humility and confidence.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I struggle with that, but like I don't. I feel very confident in my ability to at least make my friends laugh. But that's why I really struggle when I am trying to like impress someone, and I'll pull out my humor, and they just don't get it, and then it's like,
Oh, well,
oh,
you just said it's just not the
okay.
right audience. That's what I always say. I'm like, oh, they're just not my audience. Gotta surround yourself with your audience.
Like I mentioned at the start, I went down the YouTube rabbit hole, and I came across your Pebbles girlfriend dance skit video.
Oh, yes. I haven't watched that in years. Do you know
Oh
that
my
song?
gosh. Yeah, I do.
It's a
I
great
do.
song, right? Yeah,
It
okay.
was when I got my first CD player, it was on a compilation of songs along with Taylor Dane, Tell It to My Heart. And I
Yes.
don't know how my dad bought me this CD, and I don't know how he didn't expect
Wow.
me to not be gay.
Right? I mean, Pebbles maybe not, but Taylor Dane, abs 100%. Yeah, that's a giveaway. Oh, those are both great songs. Did it have Mercedes as well? Mercedes. That's another Pebble song. Do you know that one? That's a good one. Do you wanna ride in my Mercedes, boy? Oh,
Oh, I
yeah,
like
you'll
the
have to look
sound of
that
that.
one up after. It's a good
Oh yeah,
one.
I definitely will.
It's her only other hit. She only had Girlfriend and Mercedes.
Two-hit wonder.
Two-hit wonder, but good ones. Oh, I love that.
I wanted to ask you about your kind of improv, kind of meshing your worlds of choreography and comedy together. Like how to tell me about it.
Yes. So, dancing, and I know I'm kinda doing more comedic dancing that, but, um, I have been a professional dancer my entire life since I was a kid. It is hands down, out of any art form or anything in my world, my literally favorite thing to do. It's the place I feel the most comfortable, I feel the most closest to myself, I feel like I can express myself through dance. It is it is like church for me, like, it is super deep and super spiritual, and I love to dance. And then, yeah, the comedy dance stuff that you discovered, which I'm gonna have to go up there. I literally have no idea what's on that channel. I haven't looked in there in so long. Yeah, I'm a very physical energy person, so I just love it. And then I was part of a uh, that place is no longer there, but I was there for a very long time and did a lot of different sketch shows there. Actually, Jane
Hmm.
Lynch, the actress Jane Lynch, we did some shows there for a long time together.
Incredible.
It was called Heroin Addicts. It was an all-female comedy
Oh,
sketch. Yeah,
excellent.
heroin. Yeah. And then I loved to just kind of create just comedic dance numbers. And so, yeah, the Pebbles one that you saw, and then my friend David, I said, "Oh my gosh, I've got a great pink cat suit for you, and you can be one of the girlfriends." And so, yeah, those were just two of my friends, and I choreographed it, and yeah, it's really fun. But
Amazing.
yeah, I love to do choreography and dance, and I'm putting out there to the universe that I would really, oh man, I would, before I cannot dance anymore, I really want to do a show or a movie or something where I'm able to combine all those on film. I've done tons of it on stage, but I was like, man, my years are numbered. Although I'm like, I look at J-Lo and I'm like, she's still going strong. Okay, all right, J-Lo. Um,
Yeah.
But
So you've got
yeah,
at least 50 more
really.
years in
Oh,
the
thank
tank.
you. Oh, that's right. Because yeah, I'm 17. So yeah, 17,
Yeah.
20 plus 7. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I've got to, but, but I do think about these days. I'm like, I dance at a pretty high level still. But I just love it. I would love to have a role where I could combine those skills on TV or film. I do a lot of theater. I have since I was a kid, and I do a lot of theater here. And I've gotten even recently some great roles where I have been able to combine my singing, like legit singing, physical comedy, dancing. But there are not a lot of shows or movies that come around to combine
Yeah.
those. But yeah, but I love it. Well, thanks for asking about it. Yeah, I'm a big dance fan, so yeah, I'll have to take a look at my YouTube channel. I had no idea what's up there still. It's been a
Oh
while since
yes,
I looked.
and if you don't mind, I'll gladly I'll be sharing these little tidbits throughout the time of this episode coming out.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Well, I've got a little like lightning round,
Okay.
and it's kind of based off the Crazy Tara Banks interview.
Is Sasha Pierce. What else is pierced on your body? Dryly, Cyrus. Do you ever really get like sweaty?
So what I've done is I've taken your name and I've rhymed your last name with a word that will kind of go with it. You'll get the vibe as we
Okay.
as we go
Okay.
along. So the questions aren't overly too serious.
Okay.
So Dagney Kerr. So Dagney Blur. What's your go-to sing at the top of your lungs car jam?
Baby, where the hell's my husband? What's taking him so long? I'm like, na, 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 na. I don't know what she's saying, but I'm like, na, 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 na. Like that
Yeah.
is me right now. I just was playing it before this, so that's the top of my head.
Dagney Scare. What's your favorite scary movie?
So I don't tend to watch. Well, it's so funny. I love that I say I don't watch scary movies. There's a lot of what do you call it? Reality TV shows about roommates that kill each other that I do like to watch. It's hard to live with people.
Hopefully that life won't imitate art
Yeah.
there.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. But I literally start most of my mornings watching true crime. In fact, I watched 2 episodes of Murder Maps right before I came on to you. So I'm a huge, I guess that would consider scary, but I like
Yeah.
true crime. I love true crime. So I've seen everything. Anything you mentioned, I'm like, all 15 seasons. Yes, seen every episode. So I love true crime. I also, my friends make fun of me. There's a movie. It's based on a real. It's sad. I mean, someone got murdered. But I had watched a movie called Lover Stalker Killer that was on Netflix. It's a true crime documentary series. I watched it like 5 times. People are like, I go, it's and I literally said this, and I didn't think it was weird. I go, it's kind of like a comfort show. And someone's like,
Yeah.
"Why is that a comfort show?" I go, "I don't know. There's just some," and it's horrible. Like a literally. Okay, let me just give you a super rundown in case I watch it.
Yes.
It's a divorced guy who goes on a dating app to try to meet someone. He meets a girl. Her name is Liz. He goes on one date with her. He says to her, "This is just be casual. I'm just looking for something casual." And she goes, "Oh yeah, me too." Then he is a mechanic. Another lady walks into his shop one day and they kind of hit it off, and he finds her on the app just randomly. I forget what her name is. Let's say it's Sarah. And so they go on a date, and then she happens to live near him, and so they kind of like, or she's like staying over more. And then one night Liz shows up unannounced and says, "I left my jacket." Okay, so Liz and Sarah saw each other once. Okay. Anyway, all of a sudden, the Sarah girl starts going nuts, blowing up his phone, going, I want to be together. We should be exclusive. Da 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 da. Anyway, long story short, Liz, the first girl that he dated, she ended up killing Sarah and taking her identity and like blowing up his phone and still pretending like Sarah was alive and saying, "I see you in the coffee shop right now." Like, so he thinks he's been stalked by this woman, Sarah, and they don't know that Sarah has actually been killed. The Liz lady, to even get more close to the guy, burned her own house down so that anyway, it's the crazy, it's the craziest story.
What's the name of it again?
It's called Lover Stalker Killer. But I feel bad that I ruined it for you that now you know Liz is the or
I'm a big
whoever, but
spoiler person, so I
okay,
don't mind.
perfect.
Well, Dagney Kerr, do you believe in life after love?
If you watch Lover, Stalker, Killer, I would say no.
Dagney Kerr, who's your favorite celebrity couple?
I thought when you said Dagney Kerr, that you were gonna ask about cats. I was like, yes. Who's my favorite celebrity couple? Oh Lord. I got so hung up on when I heard purr, my mind just is still on cats.
My mind just always flashes to like Britney and Justin in the double denim every time I think of celebrity couple.
Oh gosh. That's so sad. Yeah, we're really bringing the mood down here. But like how hard
Sorry,
it was to be like in this spot. No, I'm bringing the mood down. Yeah,
it's okay.
wow.
So Dagney Kerr, whose side do you really take, Buffy or Kathy's?
Oh, Kathy.
Kathy's.
Absolutely.
Even I take Kathy's.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I know most people take Buffy's, which I get it, loyalty, but I like I could also see my part in it. How about that?
Dagney Kerr, what's your biggest fear?
Honestly, it's probably heights. I'm really scared of heights. In fact, there's like some places that I would like to go driving like nearby, and then I'm like, I can't. I get really like panic attacks.
Do you think is it the heights or is it the fear of falling?
That's a good question. I think it's the falling because if I'm climbing up something, I think it's probably the perspective. That doesn't bother me. Yeah, so I think it is. I think it's the perspective.
Dagney Gruyere, what's your favorite cheese?
Ah, it's funny. I lean more vegan, so I try not to do as much cheese. However, I think maybe a little goat cheese. Oh, it's the one that's also sharp. Oh, but also anything sharp, like a sharp cheddar, something that's like real sharp. Yeah.
Last one, Dagney Burr, what's the best remedy for a broken heart?
Oh, dancing.
Dancing. That's true. That's so true.
Yeah, dancing is like really healthy, period, but it helps. It just helps everything, Yeah. Asian to the space, whether that's out at the club or in your apartment or wherever you go or just on the street. Yeah. I'm very music and dance driven and
Yeah.
I feel like that's just my go-to if of anything, whether I'm anxious, whether I'm sad, whether
Yeah.
I'll go and dance and then I feel like I've expressed something. But yeah, that's some might say wine, which is also okay. And you can combine them both.
I love to dance. Like I'm not like
You do?
well, I would say I'm an okay dancer.
Yeah,
Like
I
I
can
love
see
to
you.
I love to copy like dance routines, especially when I was growing up. Like I would like choreograph little like dance routines and stuff with my sisters. And but I really dance when I have a drink, especially when I was younger. I'd really dance like a real slut. I was like the I'd be like I'd be slut dropping and like doing like flips up onto the wall and
Yes! Oh my goodness, you're really dancing. That's
yeah,
great. But it's so fun, especially if it's like a great song and you can just lose yourself in music. It's the best. It's just like, because then you just kind of enter like an alternate universe where you're just moving and feeling it, and it's the
yeah.
best. I said people would be more happy if they danced.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think mandatory dancing
yeah.
in schools would be well, we actually do have that as part of our gym
You
classes
do?
in the UK.
I love that. Like, I know we're kind of like joking about it, but it is really legit. It's music and dancing is very healing. You don't have to be like a legit dancer. It's just like any movement. And it's so good to learn, routines. It helps your memory, but it's
Yeah,
also communal because you're doing the same routine. So you feel like a commonality. And I feel like if somebody, maybe like Kathy, even who doesn't have the social skills through her conversation, she could learn how to dance and then, see, because to bring it back to Kathy, she was playing a really good Cher song that you could get down to, you know?
yeah,
Ain't
1,000,000%.
enough left to love, you know?
We started with Kathy, so let's end with Kathy.
Okay.
We referenced you being called a villain, which I wouldn't necessarily think you're a villain. However, you weren't killed, you were just brought back to your home dimension. So, Where's Kathy now? What is she doing? And is she willing to come back for the revival?
Absolutely. I would think like for the new, it's not a spin-off. What is she calling it? It's called continuation. I'm not
Continuation?
sure. Something like, yeah, I think that they're phrasing it. I think it would be really funny to have Kathy somehow, when the new Slayer gets to the age where she goes to college, I think it would be hilarious to see Kathy maybe like working in the library or just or maybe she has a daughter that's in college and, and like is part of like some meeting. I don't know. I just think it would be hilarious because to me, I could see Kathy like came back to college, got a degree, um, you know, maybe she's now a high-powered attorney. I don't know.
Ooh.
I think she, yeah, I think she's I think she figured out a way to get away. I think she's very
Yeah.
determined. Yeah, she's not just going to accept, like, my dad brought me back home. I'm going to stay here forever. She's going to find a way out.
I like to think maybe she's like, an empowered demon rights activist, and she's like helping people from dimension to
Oh
dimension,
my gosh. What about like the ladies that try to get people that want to escape polygamism, like polygamy? Like she's one
Yep.
of those. Oh, I love. Okay, that's what she is. She's like, the ones and they're like, we're trying to extract this lady right now in
Yes.
Utah. I told her meet me at the end of the road, get in the car. I love that. Okay, that's what she is.
Yeah.
She's still really in touch with her demon world and she is known to be like an undercover, like she'll try to extract people that want to get out of that lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what's
Yeah.
happening with her. I love that. I love that.
Brilliant.
And she wants to help people that have gotten out of that lifestyle and like you can do it. You don't have to be under the thumb of the church or the demon world or whatever it
Yep.
is that is controlling you.
Same thing, really.
You can get it out. We could get really dark. I'm like, oh no, let's
Yeah.
keep it light. Prostitution, whatever it is that you're in that you want to get out of. I'm gonna meet you in the night with a hood and I'm gonna throw you in the back of my Ford Taurus and I'm gonna take you down the highway and get you away and yeah.
Brilliant.
I
That's what we
love
want.
that. Because she's
Yeah.
a fighter. She's a
Oh,
fighter.
1,000,000%. Yeah.
Think what it took to get to do all that work to go to college. I mean, there's a lot of paperwork. How did she fill out the paperwork? There's so many questions that I never even thought of that I'm like, wow, how did she submit her stuff? What did she put that when you send a resume in, or not a
Yeah.
resume, but
What were her
they
SAT
ask,
scores?
yes, and what were her activities that she put down that she did? You know how they always say, oh, I was a volunteer for the YMCA. Like, what were her,
Yeah.
or maybe it was at college where they just are like, if you have the money, come on in,
Yeah. It
you
was
know?
Sunnydale, so
Yeah, but I wondered about like what the application process, this was pre-chat GPT, but like I was like, she could have just Googled it and had her make something up. So she went through a lot of work to get there. So I think she didn't settle and like marry another demon and just like live a mundane life with a picket
no,
fence.
not at all. No,
No,
she's a
she's
full
like,
underground railroad activist,
yeah,
ferrying people
yes,
back.
very underground demon railroad. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. Well, that sounds fun to play. I would be
Yeah.
into that. I like people that live on the edge. That's what I like to
Yeah.
play. People on the edge.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Well, Dagney, thank you so much. I can't thank you enough for having this chat with us today. I know that I keep saying fans, the fans of our podcast, the listeners. Sorry, it's all going to my head. All the
Aw,
fame's going to
that's
my head.
okay. They're fans. They wouldn't be listening if they weren't.
I know they're absolutely going to love this. And thank you for being so generous with your time and your stories. And
Oh, absolutely.
wish you the absolute most success in whatever you do next. And if you're happy enough, we'll keep checking back in with you, seeing what you're doing, and
Yes, I would love
share
that.
what you're up to.
This has been a pleasure, and like I said, I'm a big fan of the Buffy fans, so I really appreciate all the thoughtful questions and absolutely love it. It's a fantastic memory that'll never never get old to talk about. So, and I'm only 17, so we can talk about it for a very long
Yeah.
time before I
For
get
years
old.
to come.
So for
Yeah.
years to come.
Years to come. Well, thank you
Well,
so
thank you
much.
so much.
You're very
Awesome.
welcome.
And I look forward to speaking with you again another time. It was great.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much.
All right.
Bye. See ya.